Hi guys, and welcome to another video tutorial here on Shaie Designs. Now today's video tutorial is going to be a quick and simple video tutorial on how to design a logo using Adobe Illustrator from the Adobe Creative Suite package. Once we've finished the logo, we're going to do the final touches using Photoshop, of course. Before we get into the tutorial, we're going to just go ahead and look at the Facebook fan page. So this is our Facebook fan page. This is where if I post all my articles and interesting tutorials if I might have come across on YouTube that I'd like to share with these guys, and this would help you broaden your knowledge in graphic design. And of course, if you have any questions, you could go ahead and send me a message, or tweet me at twitter.com/Shaie Designs. So let's get into the tutorial. So the tutorial I'm going to do today is this logo, as I said earlier. If I do mind my voice, I had was a cold for about 3 days. So also my voice might sound a bit husky today. So this is the so this is the logo that we're going to do. So it's just basically what comprises of text and a thick border. Okay, which the border is known. The border is known as a stroke in the Adobe world. So we're going to go ahead and just simply do a logo for my brand, Shaie Designs. So we're going to go ahead. So this is my logo, my current logo I use at the moment. So what we're going to do for today is that we're going to make this thing here, the design area that says the text area. We're going to put a stroke on that one, and then for this one we're also going to put a border onto it. So we're just going to go ahead and simply just get our tool for the text tool, and then just type in the word that you want to put in your logo. Okay, so in my case I put the word for design, and the font I'm using today is called Fusi. You can download this free font just by it was a Google search. That's Fusi. Okay, so once we have our text and we're happy with it, what we do, what I like to do, often in case I make a mistake, further down the track, is I do a copy of the original for text format. So I hold down the Option key. I think that's the Option key on the Mac, and I believe it's the Alt key on Windows. I'm not sure, but try one of the keys next to the Control button, and you'll be able to quickly drag. Or you could just do the old-fashioned way of copy and paste. So once we've done the copy, I want you to go ahead and click onto Type and go down to Create Outlines. So what Create Outlines does is that it isolates all the individual letters, so each letter becomes an object, and you can no longer edit them. And the reason why you cannot edit them is because we want the outline. You cannot create this logo function I'm about to show you using like a normal for text box. So at the moment, if I try to isolate this one, it won't isolate because it's in a form of a text format. So we have to create the outline. So go ahead and click onto Type and click onto Create Outline. So as you can see now, the difference between this one and that one is that if I select our original text one, it's a box. I could edit this, so I could just go ahead and type whatever I want. But in this one, I cannot edit it because they're all individual isolated objects, and that's what we require. So for select that, and then I want you to go ahead and click. And actually, before we do that, just make another copy of the outline one. Okay, and we're going to use this later to place the overlay on top of this stroke. And then go ahead and go to your stroke palette. If you can't find the stroke palette, just go to Windows and then go down to stroke. You'll be able to see it. Increase the width of the stroke by as much as thickness as you want. And as I said, this also depends on the type of font you use. So if you have a font with that's bubbly or was curved with the edges, you would have a more curved with the edges of your letters. If you have ones that are all straight, I believe they're called sans serif or something, you'll be getting like a straight with the edges. So just be aware of the type of font you want. As I said, you can use this for any type of font you have. Okay, so once we have that, so we're going to just increase just a little bit. We're going to go to about 12. What we're going to do is that we're going to select the all again, click onto object, expand, and as you can see that it's going to expand all these three for components. And the reason why we need to expand these is that it's going to break through with everything. So all the individual file letters are no longer going to be joined together. As you can see, they're all joined together now. What I want is for everything to be isolated. So just click on OK. As you can see now, we can each one has each thing is a is a separate was object. We'll go ahead to your square tool or your square rectangle tool, and then I want you to zoom in a little bit, and I want you to to cover these holes. And the reason why we want to cover these holes is that because once we place the white text on top of this one, you'll be able to see the difference. So in my case, for this one here, if I covered the little circle in the B here, so then once we place the B on top, we have a nice a gradient for background flow. Okay, so just go ahead and use the style for covering things. Okay. So that's right. So any white bit you see, okay, and then just make sure that everything is all black, completely black, and not wasn't light black or anything like that. So once you have that, I want you to select all, and then you click on to unite. Okay. So once you've done that, just click on to unite. And what that does is that it groups all the objects within our border into one piece. Now we're going to apply our gradient, our background color, and also this file this also depends on the company was identity for color that you want to do for your logo. Hold down your shift key again and click onto one of these with the edges in the corner. Rotate. So rotate so it becomes like a straight, like a vertical for stand. Then I want you to go to your gradient for tab, which is also in the stroke for panel, but I'm sure you can also get it. Yeah. So if you have your stroke for panel also open, you'll be able to see the gradient, and then just click on to this box. And what that does is that it has created a gradient overlay on top of our border. Now I don't want, now as you can see that the dot from the eye and the gradient on the main text are two different entities. I want the whole thing to be just a one for gradient and not two separate ones. So just click onto your gradient tool there, hold down shift, and then just do a straight line. And it's very important to hold down your shift key, because if you don't hold down your shift key, you won't get a straight line. Okay, so there's your eyes, so you get a straight line with that. Go like that. And once we're happy with that, we're going to change the colors around. Okay, so the white one we'll make it, let's say blue, light blue, and the black we'll make it as dark blue. And as I said, you can always play around with these colors for depending on the type of project you're working on. So once we have that, I want you to click on this little with the arrow next to the box, and just click on to save. So that's going to save our color gradient preference. Okay, so once we have that, rotate it back to how it was. Go back to the first copy of the outline. And make that all white. Okay, So now it's all white, and then what you do is just drag it on top of the logo. Okay, so the reason why it's showing you this is because that the white text is behind our actual stroke. So we need to right hand click, go to arrange, and then bring to front, and there you have it. Okay, I'm just going to get my signature one, which is this one here, which I already prepared earlier, and we're going to use it on here. Okay, and as you can see, and there you are. So you can also make it smaller. So you go like that, and then I want you to arrange this behind so that the D sticks out a little bit. So you go like that. Or actually, just make it, if I bring it to front, much easier. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this little bubble right there for the eye. And yep, so just leave it as it is. Okay, so once we're done and we're happy with the design, we're going to bring it to Photoshop and do some final touches to it. Okay, so I'm going to copy your logo, Control C or Command C on a Mac. You'll go to your Photoshop and simply just paste, but just make sure that you click it as Smart Object so it has its quality. You want to stretch or make it larger. Okay, there you are. There. So let's see. So here's your logo, and I'm sure you might have seen these logos in promotions or on promotion or packaging or stuff like that. So there's endless possibilities where you can use this technique. If I hope you learned a thing or two from today's tutorial. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up or subscribe, or go over to our Facebook page and drop a comment down. So until then, take care and peace.